Hi, this is Bipolar Afterthoughts, and I'm your host, Liam Rosick. Do I look like I just woke up and came out of bed? That's because I did. That's why I look kind of crappy. And actually, that's a lie. I spent about an hour on my hair and did not turn out the way I wanted to. So I just washed it, and this is what I'm left with. One of those days. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Bipolar Afterthoughts, Liam Rosick. This is a channel where we discuss various topics that usually lead into mental health in one way or another. Just as a disclaimer, this video is going to have some topics that lightly touch on substance abuse, physical violence, sexual assault, and so on. So if that's not your thing, if it triggers you, just to hear a little bit about that, as I know it can with many, then click off, please. But this is not too much of a clickbait title. This is my experience with what I believe to be a psychopath. Now, I'm not going to name names. But what I'm about to tell you, I had no idea was coming from the start. There were signs, of course, but they were very good at hiding who they really were. It's kind of unbelievable, really. So, I was with this guy, we'll call him K, and he had a best friend named S. And she was in a long-term relationship with her girlfriend, A. And I had just gotten together with K, and I didn't know too much about S at all. I just knew that they were best friends and had been best friends apparently for about 10 years. And that was that. And he wanted me to meet her, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, totally. I am, to be honest, I did get off vibes from the very beginning. She just said, you have to be here at this time. Do not come later. And I don't know, just very authoritative. She also is one who drove Kay here and to where I was, and to pick me up, to ensure that we did not stay at the house, because that was the initial plan, was for Kay to stay over at my house. Anyway, we drove to S's house. A was not there yet. We were all just kind of hanging around. I was a little nervous, but I was doing my best to maintain conversation. She liked to make a lot of jokes that jabbed at mental illnesses, which I have dark humor too. I get it. It's fine. It's fun. Whatever, sometimes. But she took it a step too far. And I was like, okay, whatever. Spent the night. In the morning, we left pretty early, Kay and I. And I started asking a little bit about their friendship, because about 2 days later, they got into this huge fight over something incredibly ridiculous. It was because he did not want to go hang out with her in that moment. And so S called him not a supportive friend. She was going through something in that moment, to be fair to her. But it just escalated from both ends, actually, in this instance. And so I kind of inquired about more information about their relationship, their friendship, how it had gone. And I found out that for Kay's 17th birthday, they had bought an 8-ball of Coke. And that was S's idea to do that. And now, at that time, especially, I was so against drugs. Because I, am an addict, not to Coke or anything like that, but still. And he assured me that he does not do that anymore. But on his 17th birthday, they got an 8-ball of Coke, which is very expensive, and S convinced K to buy it, to pay for the whole thing for her, him, and A. And it was for his birthday, but it was because S was like, oh, well, since I got the hookup, I'm gonna it's only fair that I don't pay for it. And they ended up using it pretty evenly. And then towards the end of the night, S told K, "Hey, let's do the rest of the coconut." S told, S told K, "Let's not tell A that we're gonna do the rest of it." And keep in mind, A and S had been together at this point for 4 years, I think, and it was their house. And he said, "Sure," and they did. That's something that I heard time and time again in almost every story, was that S liked to be in control. And my alarm bells were going off, but I was like, okay, they're not friends right now. I probably don't have to deal with her. I honestly at the time did not view Kay as a long-term relationship, if I'm being quite honest. Then they become friends again. And it could not have come at a worse time, because I was sexually assaulted again that month. And she wanted to go to, I think it was Seattle. And she kept saying how it was great, whatever, it would be great for all of us. And I said, I don't think I want to go. I want to be in the safety of my own house. I told her what had happened. Even though there was no reason for me to do that, I told her. And she was like, "Oh, you're going to let that define you? You're going to let that, prevent you from doing and living your life?" And I thought, dude, it's been 2 weeks, if that. What do you mean I'm going to let it define my life? I want to stay home. And I want the support of my boyfriend. And so she got all pissy and said I was controlling. But she had a way of doing it. I saw it through the messages. I heard it through her voice, because at this point she wasn't directing it towards me. When she would say stuff like that, would be always towards Kay, and he would tell me, and I was just shocked. That's really what she's saying. And yeah, I was apparently controlling, because I was like telling Kay that he can't go to Seattle. And I never told him that. I never did. I said, it's up to you. I did prefer him. I wanted him to stay, and he did end up staying. And that made S irate. She decided she didn't want to support our relationship anymore. And I found that completely ridiculous. And I tried to bond with her. I messaged her. I was being friendly. And I'm not a person who typically does this kind of stuff. If someone is saying things about me I don't like, I confront them, and I go, "Hey, I hear you have a problem with me. What's up? Can we talk?" But I was told by Kay that wouldn't be a good idea. And I'll save the reasons as to why for later. At the time, he even saved the reasons as to why for later. But I just trusted him, and I did not confront her. Or confront is kind of more threatening than I was going for. Anyway, this all happened within a month of knowing her. Just a month. And she had, in that conversation about my sexual assault and me not going to Seattle and having that dictate my life, she made me feel as if that is what I was doing. And I'm not easily manipulated whatsoever, but she just was like, she talked to me calmly, pointing out kind of how, it was a go. That would be, I just said the real name. Shit. That would be, she told me that if I told Kay that he couldn't go, that would be controlling. And I agreed. And S made several points that were valid. And then that's when she brought up, you're letting it control your life. You shouldn't do that. And it made me feel really, really bad. I already felt like the assault was my fault. Something which I shared with her. I have no idea why I shared it with her. But I did. And she used it against me. She flipped it around and really honed it in to my head without directly stating it, actually, like that it was my fault. But just she did say, you are letting it control your life. But she suggested basically that it was my fault as well, knowing the whole story. Very subtly, very. I didn't even pick up on it until I looked back on it months later when I had healed a bit from the assault. And what was to come, because this is just the very beginning, what was to come, if I had been told at that time what was to come, I would have exited the situation. What ended up happening led me to a very dark place where I started drinking every day and wanting to kill myself because, I mean, she was a bully. She convinced me of things. I tried to be nice. I bit my tongue on multiple occasions for multiple things, and I don't do that for anyone, but I did that for Kay because I knew how much S meant to him. I'm not doing so well mentally right now. I will go further into this topic on my next video. I just felt it had been a bit since I posted, so. But yeah, you'll get more details soon. Could be later tonight. Sorry, this is a bit of a hard topic for me to talk about, actually. I have healed from it, though. I don't usually think about her at all. So that's good. But talking about it right now, going into the specifics of it, it's a little hard, and I hope you can understand. I hate to leave the video off like this. Might seem kind of like it was a pointless video, but I promise that the next one will get more in depth, and I assure you, you will be just as flabbergasted as I was, just as what the F, what the hell is going on type of attitude that I should have had but didn't. Anyway, see you next time, hopefully very soon. If I'm in the same outfit, it'll be soon. If I'm not, different day, maybe on a better mental health day. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and as I always say, don't share because of this.